Okay. All right, this is A-OK making another video. So let's say start out with my email. I will update my cash out later. But this will go my email is capital letter ALK 2022 24 at gmail.com. So if whenever you look at this video, you can always email me and request some of the topic. Hopefully, I'll start going public, but right now I'm just making videos at this time. I started about months ago, and I just wanted to encourage the people, everything that's going on, just try to get them to be focused. And the main thing is to get everyone to make the decision to be ready to vote. Amen. So if that be the case, we just have to push a little harder and talk to different people that voting do make a difference. So with that, we realize that everything that we do will count. So I say on that behalf, I know that everything that's going on is a little troublesome, but after all, we can get a little better in what we do. Hold on for a minute. I'm gonna take a quick second, step out of the view of the camera. All right. Something just happened. Okay, there you go. I just had to flip another light on for a second. So what we are dealing with, most of the thing that's happened in today's living according to the United States. We had the Ukraine and the UN coming to the White House just to talk about trying to make peace. And I looked at that for a moment of silent because the thing that they are trying to accomplish, they will not accomplish. Because simplify that the United States didn't start the war, the UN didn't start the war, and Ukraine did not start the war. So now we have to face the reality that Russia started. So is Russia aggression probably going to be the one that make that decision because then none of them started. So with that battle, we all know the history of Russia. We understand that it's a dictatorship country. The most important thing that we have to look at what's coming behind the dictator of Russia because that's what we have to start looking at and trying to see who is next in line and who is going to run Russia out of Putin. So I will look at all of that and see where to go. It's not that this war is taking place now. It's about what is the future going to hold. Now, there's many ways that we can handle this, in many ways that we can end the war, in many ways that we can come to an agreement. But right now, the agreement that Putin got is sort of disrespect any ceasefire, because any person that's trying to have the desire for a ceasefire, they will ceasefire as they going into this meeting. Now we can look at the bigger picture. We can trust what happened behind the scene or behind closed doors. That can be a lot of things. But my question is, one, if the president of the United States have the desire to stop the war or somewhat cease fire the war, it can be done. Now, a different way that we can do it. We understand now, number one, that diplomatic way of doing things is not stopping the war. Two, we can put more sanction on Russia or however they do it, but you got to understand that country is still surviving. This country is still striving. The country still get support from other countries. So them two things that I just discussed is you can make an educated decision. Say them two things is not in there working. Nope, not working. We can keep putting sanction on Russia. We can keep doing different things and keep on striving and to the country never go broke, never have an effect on the sanction. And most people say, "Oh, the sanction is working." No, the sanction ain't working, because if they was working, they would never have the ability to even start a war and get this deep in a war after 3 years. So then the third one, you have to have some type of military aggression, which is not Ukraine. And most people say, well, that's an option. You have to have some type of force that is not Ukraine. So you only had the three options, and we only used up two. And now we're trying to have a peace talk with a person that already don't said one or two it's not working. Try something else. Pretty much what Putin is saying. Try something else. Because at a state now, either the Russian citizen, either they that afraid or that afraid, frightened, and really scared, really. But for the United States and Europe, and including Ukraine, have to have another outlet. And that outlet might not be the desire, but sometimes you have to have that outlet. So with that all this said, we could have had all these meetings. We did what we did. A show or what, I don't know. Could have did everything behind closed door. Didn't really have to know, because everything that is discussed, everything that the president make a decision don't have to be public. Excuse me. And that's what sometimes it's so troublesome just watching this administration work. But all said and done, there always an end to pretty much everything that exists. But that route they want to take the peace talk. But I feel like that what happened today and Friday, I believe, was it wasn't going to solve nothing, because just this weekend, Putin was still throwing bomb and trying to do this. So if you're going to have peace talk, the other party have to cease fire and stop bombing, and then you got to have some effort to put forth. You can't just ask a brutal leader to stop bombing. We're gonna be in peace talk. We just shouldn't call it peace talk no more. We still this country is still at war with Russia, so there's no peace talk. all this group coming together and having a desire to do this and having a desire to do that. It doesn't make no sense. Now, if we go that everybody is sort of not talking about it or really not even saying anything about it, because it doesn't make no sense. Now, well, my question is, we have a UN and all nations come together and they take votes and they make a decision. They try to operate in a faction that with fairness. Now, if the UN doesn't come to the front of what's going on, if they're trying to stop Russia from attacking Ukraine, the UN itself have to make a decision saying, okay, Russia, we giving you enough time to make a decision to pull out of Ukraine. So the UN have to give Russia a decision. If it is a week, give them a little time. If Russia don't stop attacking Ukraine within a week, you take action. Not action that you're gonna be on paper, not action you're gonna we will write a agreement. No, it have to be something different from that. It have to be a force, a friction, something obstacle that's coming blocking him from doing what he's doing. Now you tell me all these countries that are in the UN cannot convince Russia to stop the brutal attack on Ukraine. Now that's something out of that is bother me because if the UN is supposed to be what it is, it should step up, saying, "Okay, Russia, we are a country or working together. If you don't line up, we will put forces in Ukraine to prevent you from going any further and then push you out." Now, with that tone, yes, he can make a ceasefire, or else he got a choice. He wanted to fight the rest of the country and the United Nation. So, what more can he do? We have to make it a choice. Everybody's sitting around saying this and that, and it's not my fight. Yes, it is. If you in the United Nations, it's something other that you should be doing. Every country that in the UN should be making a decision, saying that, okay, we got to stop this. If we are the UN that put a patrol brutality on other nations coming in and making a decision, saying that, okay, we have all these countries together, we're discussing things, but yet we cannot stop nothing. And most people in the United States conflict anyway, and I don't know why. It's just crazy because his administration don't even understand it too much in anything. So I say that way that it's going to take the UN stepping in. Why are they silent now? I don't know. But it's the nation, a country, all that together. You tell me that one country making every other country not, you know, don't take no action. And in China, I bring China here. If China either agree with Russia or it don't. If China disagree with Russia, it should make a stand more of force saying that I don't agree with Russia. We got to make a decision saying that what we gonna do next. You can't say you don't agree with something and then don't apply any action. So with that said, all in done, we understand that we we see it happening and we see everything that take place in the overall office. That's but it just don't make no sense to me. I I love my country. I never leave it, but I just hope that they come to reality. This is not going to change all that craziness. You can sit there and talk how meeting and broadcast it however you want to. Me, if I wouldn't do report, I wouldn't even cover it. And that's another thing about the media. Something they should cover and something they should just sweep on the rug and say, hey, we're not dealing with that. Find something else to cover. Because that sitting and try to cover it's just a waste of time. If it didn't get no better than 3 years ago, it ain't changed nothing. He ain't moved the ball towards Ukraine. They're just a waste of time. And then this administration, man, I don't even know why they ain't trying to make a peace talk anyway. They stopped weapons going to Ukraine. I wouldn't even deal with it. If UN had any strong leadership capability, say, hey, as enough is enough. We are voting Ukraine to be in NATO, and then suffer the consequences. You know what? It can't be no worse than what it is. Because Putin have disrespect the United States, the UN country, Ukraine, China, just everybody that he has disrespect. Like I don't care what they going on or what's taking place with that. It just don't make no sense. So even with the conflict with North Korea bringing them into the fight, which was Putin plan anyway, just to get some more people to die for no reason, for he can sort of build up his military and try to build to that he can withstand the fight, save his whatever he was doing, ammunition, save the people, however he look at it. But we have to make that decision. And then the United States is in a conflict anyway, and point blank, if North Korea soldiers join in the fight, that should have been an open decision right there. They're saying, let's do it. Now, I agree with Biden on many things. I ain't got no problem with Biden. He did what he did, and he made a decision when he could and how he could. There's many ways that he couldn't make a decision, but that's his decision. I ain't got nothing against his decision. Just like this administration that's presently in the White House, I ain't got nothing against their decision. Might not agree with them, but that's decision that they making or whatever they make, and whoever they choose to put in a position. But the decision that is very simple and very and a point that it's just like should be a reaction. Like bam, it come to the mind like quick. Like, hey, we need to do this, get this done, and settle this now, and not prolong it. But it came to be no worse than the last 4 years, and the first 8 months is critical of the United States, because a lot of things took place that now have put the United States in a predicament. When you got a whole bunch of nations, should we say NATO, come to you and pleading and begging, and I guess to give it the president confidence that hey, we support it. The United States don't need no support. The United States don't need no backing for no country. That's one thing I know. They don't need no support from any country. That's the part that I didn't understand that one. Now, if they're coming to right Ukraine, that's okay. That's the support for Ukraine. But any other thing, and I wouldn't even say, and it hurt me to hear the media say they are here and support Trump, that knowing that they're gonna back him. Back him from what? We got one of the strongest military. We got one of the strongest economy we had. I'm gonna say like that had one of the stronger economy But one man put it in a predicament saying that, hey, we might not last. But that's a long story. That's another story. But the main thing tonight was that we have to make a decision and we have to deal with it. Our choices, the next generation, the future generation, rely on the choices that we make today. And I'm gonna turn the corner for a minute, and then I'm gonna get ready to get offline. I'm turning the corner just to talk about states and what's going on. We have got to the point of a country that it's gotten so bad that it's hard to trust any official, hard to trust really anybody because you don't know what their mindset. Now we can look at violence, we can look at crime, we can look at all of that. Crime doesn't make a administration in battle. And then we can look at the administration, we can look at everything that goes on, and we can see things taking place. And we can go to the grocery store and see what's going on. We can see prices going up. We can see prices never went down yet. And you can make those decisions. But when you get people that they conscious mind saying that, oh, I'm gonna stick with the badness versus trying to find something good. And that's the key. You can vote for whoever you want to, but when you get to that point and you get that split in the road, you got to make a decision where you going. You can keep going down the same road, or you can change direction and chase after something better. But all of these things is taking place, and just like I say in other video, thank to the judicial branch, the judges that made decisions saying that okay, I'm gonna make a decision versus if Republican or Democratic voted me into the position. So I'm gonna take the Constitution of the United States and put it before who nominated me to be a judge. And that's what we all have to make the decision. But one thing that we know that the Republican is totally against the Constitution. If we look at that Constitution, it's very, very plainly, it speaks for itself. And you can look at it and try to change it. It's very difficult to change because it doesn't make no sense. It's very simple. It ain't no what if. It ain't what if the sky is blue or it is the water is blue. It just plain and very simple. But then if we don't fight for that, we don't fight for those right that people have. We don't fight for those right that is laid before us. So we have to stand up for something. We have to when we say stand up, we mean stand up with our vote. Stand up for the future of the United States. So we have to deal with that. We can see everything that's going on. We can sell lots. We can discuss a lot. We can talk about a lot. We can get bad information. We can get good information. Like I always tell people, do your research, see what's going on, base it off your living, not what people say or what anything shows on video. Because we understand AI is very intelligent now, so you don't know what is true. And that's why I always don't judge nobody according to what I see online. I do the research, the different sites, see what they're saying versus what I saw, read or saw the first time. But with all that, it's having that confidence in your leaders doing the right thing. That's what the United States is based off of. You vote people in for them to do the right thing, for they can benefit you as an individual, you as a citizen of the United States, or you are the citizen of the state that you're in. So we vote these people in, and most people say, "Well, I didn't vote." But regardless, if you vote, you had the opportunity to vote for a person. You might didn't get the person that you wanted in, but you had that opportunity to vote, and that's fair. But the thing that gets it, the people that wins don't want to follow the Constitution or want to get rid of the Constitution. So we have to have that ability to put up a good fight. Now we see the protests, we see people protesting in different states. That's good. That let other people know that hey, what they doing is not right. And that's the key thing is protest. Not being violent, it's not being brutal. You just protesting signs and this, and then you keep it going. So that is the main thing that we have to look at it. We know there's I think some people are voting in November, and that's good. And we hope that everybody go out and vote, get the opportunity to vote. I would tell people that everyone that don't vote, really you can't really say anything. But then you can because you're still a citizen of the United States. Either you vote or not, you still have the right of the things of the United States. So regardless if you vote or not, but I encourage everybody just go out and vote. Look at the candidate that you want to vote for. Research because sometimes you have to be careful with who you vote, regardless if it Democrat or Republican. What's going to benefit you? If they going to benefit you? Because I see and know for sure that some Democratic candidate get in there don't help the citizen as well as Republicans. So neither one of them is gravy. But we hope that when a candidate get in to office, they do right by the citizen. And then if their hand is tied, they still have to fight. They still have to go out and talk to the citizens and say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do, but I'm being blocked by whoever the majority is. I'm being blocked by them. But you have to let the constituent know what's going on and what you're fighting for. But that's all I have tonight. I just want everybody to just stay encouraged. It just the year ain't here yet. We just hope that 2026 be sort of like a better year and be a lot of things going on in 2026 because we know that's the midterm in 2026 of November. So we just hopefully that we start telling people gather vote, look for your candidate, search the line that you can know who to vote, and most of the time, what district that you vote in, where do you go to vote, and that's probably the big start. Where do you go to vote? Have you registered to vote? So that's some of the things that we can work on each other and different organizations or different people that you come in contact with. But I tell everybody, every conversation is good. If it become heated, and then you have to step aside. You can't convince a person that what's good or bad, but you always can have that conversation, a peaceful conversation, because we're all citizens of the United States. We all want goodness and the things that gonna get us to the next place in the United States. But that's all I have tonight. I hope I start putting some of the video public, and I'm just making them right now. And like I said in the first this video tonight, just to get started, a head start on people hearing my opinion. They can watch the video I always tell them ain't nothing exciting. You'll hear a person talk, but it's the viewpoint. You put all them viewpoints together, and then you'll understand who I am, what I stand for. So that's the biggest of making these videos. I'm not trying to get no. I will tell you, I'm not trying to get no viewers right now. I'm just building up the videos for people to have something to base who I am off of, and then hopefully after everything settled down, hopefully everything settled down, and I start again open it for sort of tagging people and trying to get people to strive and follow, and then I can have some Zoom time for the Zoom site, and I'll go to that. I'll post it on the Monday video and the Monday follow. It'll be Zoom, and that's what I'm working on. So for now, until I start doing that, it just I'll be doing video every Monday. I missed last Monday. Something came up, but I'm here, and next month I should be here, and hopefully by November, October, November time frame, I start tagging people in the videos and trying to pull up get people to start watching the video. And that's my plan. By November, I'll start hitting everybody up and sort of open the front of my video. But when you watch this, have a good night, regardless if this present August the 18th. Whenever you see the video as well, good night. Have a wonderful tomorrow.